Welcome to my video. Today's kind of a special day. It's February 2021 here in North Texas, and this is my 72nd birthday. I run a sawmill here and do some other stuff, all having to do with wood. And I have people coming through here all the time asking me, how do you know that? How do you know to do this? And how do you know to do that? So I've decided to start trying to make some videos to show you why I do. Over a number of years, I have just figured out how to do things, mostly by myself, sometimes with help. But the big part of this journey is wood. I got interested in cutting down trees and taking those logs and bringing them here to my sawmill and sawing them up. First I thought I'd just feed my woodworking habit, but now I find out I'm feeding everybody's different custom habit. I have friends that come through here that are interested in wood turning, so we prepare wood turning blanks here. They like lumber for different projects. I also am one of the only people here in North Texas prepare huge slabs for natural edge slab tables. Takes a different process. We spalled wood here. We do a variety of different things that's unique, that you just don't see at sawmill. We are not a big high volume sawmill. We're a low volume sawmill because I'm 72 years old. But I have learned to do stuff along the way. And I hope through this series of videos, and there's going to take many of them to explain it, I'll explain to you a little about the natural wonders of wood, all the way from cutting it to the tree, to sawmilling it, to processing it, to making projects out of it, and how to even finish those projects. We're going to go the whole gambit, and that's obviously going to take a lot of videos. Stick with me. We're going on a journey. Fixing to give you a long list of everything you can learn by watching these future videos. We'll just kind of use this video to show you all the different roads we're going to go down. First, let's get some definition straight. What is a woodworker? A lot of people think woodworkers are guys that build cabinets or chairs. Well, there's wood turners too, and they turn bowls and vases and so forth. The guys that cut down trees and take the logs to the sawmill, those are usually called loggers. But sawmill, you just call sawmillers. All these guys are woodworkers, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to call them all woodworkers, and we're going to show you all the processes of working wood from start to finish. You'll learn a lot. I have done this for a number of years, and a lot of people have took the time to teach me things, and so I'm going to pass it on. If you're willing to learn some new things about how to do woodworking, and mostly how do you work with your hands to get things done. I think it's important. We've moved from a society of computer people that they sit in front of a computer and know how to do that stuff real well, but when it comes to doing things with their hands, they still need some training. Hopefully this video will fill some of those gaps. We're going to start out by a long discussion later on about how we acquire trees and where we go to get them. And then we're going to talk about cutting trees down that we're going to bring back to our sawmill. We don't harvest all trees that are available. Here I stock, the other day I was counting 32 different species of trees or wood that we have for our woodworking folks. When I go out and cut a tree, it's usually one around the house. Sometimes it's out in the field where storms have blew them over. A lot of these old big trees will roll over in the ground during storms. Sometimes it's just a farmer or a rancher wanting to get rid of some so he can have less shade, more grass for his cattle. We're going to cut trees. I'm going to show you how dangerous it is, how to do it safely, we'll talk about some of the stories when it didn't work out very well. And then we're going to load them up. That's a whole challenge, to load large trees up and get them on a transport vehicle and get them back here. Then we got to unload them when we get here. What we got's a 30-inch red oak log that we loaded this morning. Like to run 3 batteries down just controlling the winches. It is heavy. I'm wondering if my 52 horsepower John Deere tractor is going to pull it off of there. I guess we'll see. Then we'll pile them, sort them, and then we will start taking them to the sawmill. The smaller trees, less than 24 inches, we will cut up on the sawmill. The larger trees, and I sometimes bring trees in here much as 4.5 foot diameter. I have a 60-inch chainsaw mill that I use to slab those trees. So we'll get into that a lot more, of running the chainsaw mill, slabbing, and different methods of doing that and what you can get as a result. We're going to talk a lot about chainsaw. We'll have a whole school on chainsaws, what makes them work, what works well for cutting trees, how to sharpen them, how to maintain them, and a lot of safety on chainsaws. And some stories of people that weren't safe on chainsaws. We take a lot of these trees we bring in that are light colored woods, notably pecan, then some hickory and maple and others, and spalled them. I'm one of the few people around that spalled wood. We'll go through the process, how you do it, how you get out, what you get out of it, when to harvest it. So something unique that not very many people work with. What equipment do you need to run a sawmill? Well, of course, you need a sawmill itself, but you need tractors and trailers and other things, and I'll talk about all of that. Because one of your big problems when you get those logs and you dump them off the trailer back here at the yard is you've got to pick them up, get them on the sawmill without damaging the sawmill, like dropping a log on it. And how then do you turn the log? Because you have to turn the log to get 4 square sides in it before you can make lumber, if that's what you're making out of the log. So we're going to talk a lot about equipment it takes to handle. I'll talk about my special trailer that I use not only to haul logs here, but also sometimes helping in processing them. We'll talk about drying that wood, lumber, and slabs after you cut them, about how you sticker them properly, how you dry wood properly. There's a lot of difference between the way you dry a board that's 3/4 inch thick and your 3-inch slab that's 4 foot wide. We will talk a lot about the proper way to dry wood and what you can expect as results out of it. We also dry some turning blanks here, but mostly turning blanks are used green. We support here 6 of the North Texas Woodturning clubs. In those clubs, there's roughly 600 people that do wood turning in North Texas. So I have a room I maintain for them that we just store wood turning blanks. Occasionally they come out and we spend a day cutting up slabs and other things and processing wood turning rubber and putting them in that shelves. I'll show you the proper way to do all of that. Making wood blanks, how to store them. Roughly now we have around 500 wood blanks here on the shelves. So we keep the wood turners busy, and they help out a lot sometime with when I need an extra hand to do things around here. We also cut up a lot of out of the slabs. We cut up billets, and the billet is just a square piece of wood. Typically, I cut them around 3¼ inches square, because with a billet of wood, depending on the length of it, you can make tool handles. You can make your table legs if you're a woodworker out of the things. If you're into wood turning, you can make salt and pepper shakers. You can make candle holders. So you use square long wood, and we'll show you how, when we're sawmilling, we always include a few of those for the folks that need that kind of lumber. Then we're going in the shop. And in the shop, we're going to show you woodworking. Different ways to make stuff, from little projects to big tables and cabinets and so forth. We'll build a few of those and show you how to do that along the way. We'll also do a lot of wood turning. I tend to do everything large logs, but on the lathe I usually turn large objects, whether it's bowls or huge vases. But we'll turn some little stuff too, but we'll show you some things about wood turning you probably didn't know. And so we'll spend some time in the shop. Now, we use a sawmill. We make up a bunch of rough lumber. We'll show you the proper way to run that through planers and joiners and stuff and get it ready to build projects out of. So we'll spend some time doing that. I have buddies that is really proficient in wood carving and wood burning to decorate, whether it's a turned object or a table. They're really proficient at it. I have another one that's really good with a CNC machine. We will go visit in shops. We'll go visit some of these really talented woodworkers and wood turners and let them teach us some new stuff. It's just one of the things we're really blessed around here is some really talented artists that in wood that do things. So we'll go on a tour, visit them some. I learned a lot of this stuff I do because people I met along the way took time to show me things, teach me how to be a better woodworker, wood turner, sawmiller, whatever. I've always felt a responsibility to return that back to people. So we're going to be, this whole video is part of watch what we're doing, but a lot of it is also, here's a lesson you can learn. So along the way, you're going to pick up a lot of lessons about how to do things. Not just do things with wood, but just do things. So stick with us and we'll do that. I think we have a real responsibility to train the next generation of woodworkers and wood turners. You know, think of it, 20 years from now, who's going to be doing the woodworking? We still need woodworkers, even though with all this modern stuff, we still need woodworkers.
Well, it's a cold day here in February of 2021 in northeast Texas. We're about 40 miles east of Dallas. It's 21 this morning, but yesterday it was 0 degrees out here. I was talking to my brother this morning and he told me that, reminded me that the last time we've had 0 degrees weather here in northeast Texas was 1988. This has been a record-setting thing for Texas. We're not used to this kind of cold. We don't get snow maybe every 5 or 6 years, but usually it's at a lot warmer temperature. We just don't know quite how to deal with 0 degrees temperature and 6 inches of snow like we've had fell the last 3 days now. So, you guys that live up north, y'all quit blowing them blizzards down this way. Us Texans don't know how to deal with this cold. We're more inclined to deal with Texas heat in July and August when we know it's going to be 100 degrees or thereabout every day, and we're just wondering if it's going to be 105 that day. Well, we can deal with that because we're kind of used to it. We're not used to these frigid temperatures. So, sawmilling's out for today. probably several days. It's just too cold for us Texans to get out and work in this. I'm gonna go hide in the shop the rest of the day, find something I can do where the heater works. I've got a lot of woodworking projects I can do in there and stay warm while I'm doing it. Here we are 7 days after the blizzard that blew through here that caused all the snow and 0-degree temperature here in North Texas. 7 days later, today is supposed to be 75 degrees and sunny. It's almost like living south in Florida or something. So goes North Texas weather. It shifts constantly. We typically have fairly warm winters here. Last week was not typical. So we're recovering. Snow's melted, temperatures are up. We're kind of waiting for things to dry out.
Well, if you like this video, please press the like button down below. Show that you support it. If you really want to support this and future videos, be sure and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, and please leave a comment. I always want to hear what you have to say about things, and everybody's experience is different, so you probably know a lot of things that I hadn't been exposed to, so teach me. Give me some comments. Until next time, see you later.